At a city's railway station, there lived a beggar who survived by begging from passengers traveling on the trains. One day, as he was begging, he noticed a tall man dressed in a suit. He thought, "This man looks very rich. If I beg from him, he'll surely give me a good amount of money." So the beggar approached the man and started asking for alms. Seeing the beggar, the tall man said, "You are always asking for things. Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I always ask from others. I don't have the means to give anything to anyone." The tall man said, "If you can't give anything to anyone, you have no right to ask for anything either. I am a businessman, and I believe in transactions. If you have something to offer me, only then will I give you something in return." Saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar began to reflect on his words. The man's statement deeply resonated with him. He thought, "Maybe I don't receive much in alms because I don't give anything in return. But I'm just a beggar. What could I possibly have to give?" This question lingered in his mind for 2 days. On the third day, as he sat near the station, his eyes fell on some flowers blooming on the nearby plants. He thought, "Why don't I give flowers to people in exchange for alms?" He liked the idea and plucked some flowers. Now, whenever he went begging in the train, whoever gave him alms, he would give them flowers in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them. Within a few days, he noticed that more people started giving him alms. He began plucking all the flowers near the station and distributing them in exchange for alms. However, when he ran out of flowers, the alms would stop as well. This became his daily routine. One day, as he was begging, he saw the same tall man on the train, the one whose words had inspired him. He quickly approached him and said, "Today I have something to give you. Flowers. Please give me alms, and in return, I'll give you flowers." The tall man gave him some money, and the beggar handed him flowers in return. The tall man was impressed and said, "Wow, that's amazing. Today you've become a businessman like me." Saying this, he disembarked at his station. But once again the man's words struck a chord with the beggar. He kept thinking about what the man had said and felt a newfound happiness. His eyes sparkled with hope. He realized that he had discovered the key to success that could transform his life. He immediately got off the train, looked up to the sky, and shouted with excitement, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman, and I can become rich too." People around him thought the beggar had gone mad. From the next day, the beggar was no longer seen at the station. But 6 months later, at the same station, 2 well-dressed men in suits were traveling. They noticed each other and shook hands. One of them said, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No, I think this is our first meeting." The first man said, "No, think again. This is not our first meeting. It's our third." The second man asked, "I don't recall. When did we meet before?" The first man smiled and said, "We've met twice before right here on this train. I'm the same beggar whom you first told what I should do in life. And the second time, you told me who I truly am." The second man, astonished, said, "Oh, now I remember. You're that beggar I once refused to give alms to, and later bought flowers from. But today you're in a suit. Where are you heading, and what do you do now?" The first man replied, "Yes, I am the same beggar, but today I am a successful flower merchant, and I am traveling to another city for business." He continued, "In our first meeting, you taught me the natural law that to receive something, you must first give something. That principle truly works. I've experienced it myself, but I always saw myself as just a beggar and never thought beyond that. In our second meeting, you made me realize that I had already become a businessman. I understood the lesson. I used the money I earned from distributing flowers on the train to buy more flowers, and today I've become a major flower merchant. People here love flowers, and their love has turned me into a successful businessman." Both men smiled and disembarked at the station, discussing their respective businesses as they walked away. Moral: this story teaches us that by changing our mindset, we can achieve anything. If we see ourselves as small, we will remain small. Success lies in our thoughts. Recognize your worth, think big, and watch how you rise to the heights